$140. You know what? Honestly, maybe some of you guys disagree, but I really don't understand this. This whole concept of, oh my gosh, the game's so expensive. It costs so much. $70. Whoa. $100. Whoa. $200. Whoa. You know, not even talking about pay to win. I'm just talking about pay to play. And I don't know. I feel like, sure, video games are in a unique position to sell their game for free because some people will pay a lot of money for MTX, but actually most of us, when we really think about it, I think we mostly agree that games were developed in a lot of ways in a better way when the companies actually had stakes involved. They had to actually produce a good game up front and sell it out of the box in a good condition, you know. And if that meant the game was delayed, okay, the game was delayed. Instead of releasing these games unfinished and then, you know, well, it's free, what are you complaining about, kind of thing. Like, that just drives me nuts. I'd rather have a higher quality product on release and then feel better about it. But yeah, like, you know, paying to play and then also paying to get MTX and then paying for power, you know, that's BS, obviously. But the real reason why I'm just kind of skating around my true feelings are that, you know, if I want to do anything, there are a lot of different things I can do for fun, and most of them cost money, a lot of money, especially in Tokyo. But even, you know, in the countryside, back in the US where I was from, you want to do the more traditional thing, dinner and a movie, I don't know, just the cinema. When you're kids, you go to the arcade. You can go to the bars as you're an adult. You pay a lot of money for those drinks, for that food, for that movie. And you're going out and doing things, but I know for a fact that I saved an unbelievable amount of money by playing video games in my 20s. Because I went through certain phases, you know, where I would like put the video games down and I would go out and I'd go play pool every night. I'd go play pool, have a couple beers, $1 a game. And I was getting pretty good at the games, so, you know, $1 a game is done in like 3 or 4 minutes. Even if you split it 50 cents playing, you know, one-on-one, that's a lot of money after a few hours. Or even the best rates was, what, like $10 an hour or something for the rack. I spent so much money. You just go, anytime I went out and did anything, so much money out of my pocket. It got me thinking, you know, I just play video games. It cost me, you know, back then it was like, oh, okay, I paid, how much money did I pay for Diablo 3 out of the box? I guess it was $60. Lasted for like 2 or 3 years. I had to pay for the internet. So yeah, I mean, I'm paying for the internet, and that's only if you're like not factoring in, I'm using the internet for all these other different things too. So it's not like the internet is going just for video games, but yeah, primarily for video games. Yeah, and even if you try to like do these things for cheap, like if you go out to the store and you buy a pack and bring it back home, that's still way more money than a video game. So think about like how much actual value I got out of $60 for 2 years. It's unbelievable, the value proposition of that. You know, it's like I pit that up against like 1, maybe 2 nights out. If I'm being stringent on 2 nights, I can get away with spending only like $30 a night going out for, like, you know, a few drinks, a few pool games, maybe a movie, something. And sure, you know, I mean, those nights, those experiences, you could qualify that as being a better or more special experience than like sitting at home on your computer playing video games all night. But not really. For those of us that love video games, it's not really a better experience, is it? In many cases, I find myself out wondering, like, why did I even come out here? I just turn around and go back home, play video games, save money, and doing something I wanted to do more. That's the way I look at it. I really just cannot get this notion that you're gonna get upset about $60, $70, even $200, even $500. Like, what? I say, you know, maybe not $500, but it's just like, the point I'm making is, from where I stand, these companies could charge way more money up front for their games. Me personally, I wouldn't have a problem buying it. I guess I'd have a problem buying it now because of the expectations of how cheap it is, but I imagine a different world where, you know, the prices of video games would more properly scaled based on the value proposition versus so many other different ways you can have fun, or how many different ways adults typically have fun and how much money that costs to do those things. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't believe that we get away with this. I feel like getting away with murder. Being able to play these video games for nothing or next to nothing. You know, Path of Exile, bought stash tabs. A couple of MTX I don't even use. Think of how many actual hours I've spent playing this game. Imagine if I transposed those hours to a bar and how much money I would have spent at the bar. We're talking about a difference of like a factor of like 100 in terms of the amount of money spent. That's absolutely crazy. And there are people who do that, man. There are people who live their lives that way. They spend so much money. They work Monday through Friday. They go out to the bar. They blow almost all their money on the bar on Friday night and Saturday night. I don't know if they didn't understand. They never discovered the wonder of video games or what. But yeah. Yeah, they trash us for playing video games. Yeah. Basically. Yeah, what are you, a loser? You just gonna stay home all day? Play video games? What is that? Why don't you come out? Actually do something. Hang out with people. I'm hanging out with 62 people right now. Didn't even have to get out of my chair. That's a crazy world. Imagine going to a bar and meeting 62 people. Hell no. No way in hell I would do that.